ISIS Audio presents an unabridged recording of A Deadly Covenant, written by Michael Stanley and read by Onwukwe. The moral right of the author has been asserted. This performance is owned by ISIS Audio. Chapter 1. Amos Sebina peered through the dust at the bucket of his backhoe. He blinked and looked again. He had to be mistaken. But it did look like his skull sticking out of the sand. He turned off the engine and jumped out of the cab, shielding his eyes from the sun. He eased forward to inspect it more closely. It was definitely a skull. He took a step back. Was it human? Or could it be a baboon's? He didn't know the difference. He scratched his head. If it was human, why wasn't it buried in a graveyard? And if it was a baboon's, why would anyone bury it in the first place? He retreated further. He wasn't going to touch it because that could bring him very bad luck. He looked around for a stick, but didn't see one. So he broke a branch off a bush and stripped off the leaves and twigs. He edged closer to the bucket, reached forward and poked the skull. He didn't move. He wanted to see more, but it would be disrespectful to stick the branch into the eye socket and try to lift it. So he used the branch to sweep away the fine Kalahari sand. In a few minutes, most of the skull was visible, but he was none the wiser as to what sort of creature it had belonged to. He stepped back, unsure of what to do. If he dumped the skull and continued digging, his boss would be happy, but the police wouldn't if it was a human skull. If he stopped digging and the skull turned out to be a baboon's, his boss would be furious and probably fire him for delaying the project. Sebina knew that his best course of action was to tell his boss as soon as possible and let him make the decision. However, there was no way to contact him. He'd only see him at the end of the day when he came to take him back to near Massacre, the village where he lived. Sebina shrugged. Whatever it was had been dead for a long time. A few more hours weren't going to change anything. He glanced at the trench that he'd been digging. He gasped and jumped backwards.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?